It's time for more Chameleon Twist 2! Last time we tackled the Japan-inspired perils of Great Edoland, and today we're moving on to Toyland. Now usually, the first thing we do is talk to our rabbit friend over there, but not today, because behind the starting present is a coin. Okay, now we can talk. This is a land of toys, but if you just play around, you won't survive. You can play a training game too. Do you want to give it a try? We certainly do. So let's take a look at this stage's training game. Aha, hello. In this training room, you practice what you've learnt so far. Use all the techniques you know to make it to the finish line. Keep your eyes on the arrows and decide the best way to advance. Again, our rabbit friend has not been very helpful. Luckily, this training room is pretty easy. We just have to jump and use our tongue to ensure we make it to the next platform. Occasionally, our parasol might help too. Some of these jumps are pretty tight. When you get to the last two platforms, you're gonna have to time things very carefully because they go all the way in, meaning you can fall and find yourself thrown back to the start. But as long as you're careful, you should have no trouble reaching the goal. 2481. Another time I'm happy with. So let's get back to Toyland. This is another incredibly creative and memorable stage for me. We start out here on some Lego blocks that we can jump over, but take special note of the blue Lego block wall in the background. When we reach the end, we can jump up onto this scaffolding here, and then do a tongue stand to get on top and collect our first coin. As you probably noticed last stage, from here on in the game, some of the collectibles are hidden really well. These platforms fall the second you touch them, so you have to jump fast, but be sure to line up so you don't miss that coin. At the bottom of the screen here, we've got a power-up, and we're about to go up against some enemies, so hopefully we get something useful. You know what? We can make that work. These ball-like enemies will bounce around until they're all defeated. Sometimes it can take a long time. A good technique is to extend your tongue in every direction and jump. That makes it much more likely that their bounce trajectory will line up, and they'll accidentally get eaten. Be careful when using your tongue on these moving platforms. If they're moving away from you when you finally jump up, it's easy to get thrown into the abyss. Now here's something funny I noticed during my practice run of this stage. These four-colored blocks act like seesaws going back and forth depending on where you stand, but it turns out they rock in more than two directions. If you stand on either of the far horizontal sides, they'll also tilt the appropriate way there too. It's just not something you'd typically encounter. Now for these hammer enemies, a good strategy is to stay to the outside. If you get too close to them, they'll swing down and try and squish you, and it can be pretty hard to get out of their radius once you're in it. I definitely recommend using your tongue for that coin there. Now here we have some wood blocks, and if you climb up one of the green sides and get on top of the yellow archways, there's a coin, delicious finances, and a random heart power-up. It just occurred to me now that we're eating all of these things. Sure, we've collected some coins, but we've also eaten a lot of them. That can't be healthy. Now as this platform starts moving, there's going to be an optional platform to the side with a power-up on it. The platform at the bottom just takes you back to the start, where you'll have to be patient. But eventually you can get back onto that first platform and begin the loop again. But that's the long way of doing things. Honestly, we don't really need the power-up here, but if you want it and don't want to get off, you can just use your tongue as you pass by. Next, we have a floating block we want to get on top of, so we'll tongue stand. Oh no. Well, I'm glad there's no fall damage in this game, so we'll climb back up. This time we'll tongue stand, jump, and use our tongue to get on top of the platform. And then, well, I didn't mean to get all of those. I was going to use my tongue to pull myself up and then show you, but there's 2 hearts, 2 power-ups, and a coin, and then a power-up down here. And on the back of the piano, there's a coin. Whoa, up speed, calm down. And then... what do you have to do to get a good score on this thing, I wonder? Oh, sorry, did you bring 5 carrots with you? We did not, because this stage's carrot is yet to be seen. If you didn't bring the carrots, I can't show you the way. And at this point, we're giving him the stare down of a lifetime, and rightfully so. This stage's carrot is hidden much later in the stage, which means not only can we not do the minigame today, we also can't get all 20 coins. Okay, I'm done musically sulking. And don't worry, we're gonna collect everything in this series, so we'll come back here later, unlock the minigame, and collect that last coin. Now we have some soars to jump, and I'm convinced that upspeed is actually a penalty, not a perk. I know I'm blue, but I don't want to go fast. Oh yeah, big head saving the day. And here we have a crocodile, which is definitely not a toy. A crocodile is a weapon. Well, actually, I mean, crocodiles aren't weapons. You don't see a strange man in a back alley pulling out his crocodile. Jeez. I'm sorry to any crocodiles I may have just offended. Okay, so there was a coin on that foot. We're gonna jump across here and use this foot to get up onto the conveyor belts. At the bottom of this one, there's a heart. And then if we jump across to the one at the top of the screen, there's a coin. Now, I'd recommend using your tongue to get this coin. First of all, because you can. And secondly, it stops you from needing to go near that dangerous edge. Same deal here, except this coin's higher up, so you need to jump. And now we can begin using the present platforms to make our way to the claw machine in the distance. And as you can see, and I'll point at it using my tongue, there's a coin on the outside of the claw machine. That's going to be our first order of business, because I don't think we can get back out of the claw machine once we're in. Here's the final present platform, and then a big present for you! Now, as soon as we touch the surface of the present for you, it's going to bounce us into the claw machine. If we're quick and activate our parasol, we can guide our fall to make sure we get that coin on the outside. Then, down the bottom of the claw machine is another present which takes us back up to where we were before. This time, we can bounce into the claw machine. For those of you who prefer to play fast and want to skip the claw machine segment, you can use your parasol here to land directly on the platform at the back, skipping the next section. We're going in though, because not only is there a coin, there's a heart at the back, and behind the podium, there's a random heart power-up. Then, if we're quick, we can get ourselves inside the scoop, which will take us to the back podium and lower us in. Oh yeah, we're a prize! Once we land near the card bridge, we can jump back into the wooden box on the right side to get a 3-heart power-up. Then we can start to run across the card bridge, though be careful to get the coin because it starts to fall and oh no, this is not the time for down speed. Luckily we made it, we got a heart power-up, and we can proceed across the card bridge. Very slowly. One thing I absolutely love about this game is the way that they incorporate the theme of each stage into the hazards. Each world uses such a wide variety of interesting mechanics surrounding the theme, which makes every single world feel instantly memorable. Now we're going to the right first because there's a coin, and then we'll head to the left. Each domino begins to fall as you approach it, though sometimes I like to jump towards them just because it makes me feel powerful. Ah yeah! But as you see here, regardless of if you jump or not, they still fall down. And here we have the most evil section of the entire game, the second card bridge. Like the first, you just have to run to the other side, though this time the falling cards will catch up with you really quickly, often making it impossible to jump. The best thing to do is make the coin your first priority. After that, you can focus on getting to the other side, which is honestly some well-timed jumps and some luck. Oh my god, we did it! That section can be brutal. It took over an hour in the practice run, and I just made that look way easier than it is. So here you have 2 card platforms to choose from. If you choose the wrong one, as you saw, it'll flip you down. But if you choose the right one, it'll let you stand on it and pass. After getting sprung up to the chessboard the first time, you're going to want to jump down and parasol over to the edge, where you can get this stage's carrot. Then it's just a matter of landing on the right card and getting flung back up to the chessboard. Now this area serves as a kind of mini-boss. Each piece moves how it would on an actual chessboard. The blue pieces are bishops and move diagonally. The green pieces are rooks and move either horizontally or vertically. The king is the red piece and can only move one space at a time, but in any direction he chooses. We win the fight by using the other pieces to defeat him. It's honestly quite chaotic up here, which also makes it very easy to forget this coin down here. Now we just have to make our way to the top of the chessboard, where defeating the king has unlocked a moving block. Wonder what this power-up will give us. Oh yeah, there's that big noggin we love. Now these blocks will periodically rotate, so it's a good idea to jump across twice and then use a third jump to position yourself as the block rotates to make sure you don't fall off. Also, it's just so distracting watching him jump and do his leg flip with that giant head. I wish I had a giant head. So the final block acts like an elevator and takes you up to this platform. Here, there are a bunch of giant blocks moving around and trying to squish you. There's no shortcut to get through this area. I just recommend not getting yourself cornered like this. I tried to sneak past. Luckily, we're through, and there is a heart to heal up here before some vertical rotation. Here, our strategy is the same as it always is, with some... I didn't mean to go under like that. I guess we don't need a strategy, we're through. And here we have a cuckoo clock, which we have just missed. At least we can take some time to talk about how it works. So as you can see, the clock propels forward at a ridiculous rate. Eventually, the hour hand reaches the 12, where the face of the clock falls forward and the bird comes out. Then, you time your jumps better than I just did and land on the face to be propelled up to the end of the stage. But don't forget to jump down onto the roof of the cuckoo clock to get the last coin. Now, I'm still not happy with our rabbit friend here, but let's see what he has to say. You must be getting tired by now. To reach the boss, you can use that airplane if you'd like. Alright, we'll forgive him temporarily because it's hard to stay mad when someone gives you an airplane. Let's see what health item... Ah, damn it. Alright, into the airplane. This is the only stage that uses an airplane instead of the standard boss platform too. I don't know why. Let's see what kind of monstrosity we're up against. Oh man, you're too big. You're gonna be tough to fit into the video thumbnail. Don't just flap your robot arms at me. Be smaller. Alright, so we're doing this with half health. This boss has 3 different attacks and he can start with any one of them, though regardless of which attack he starts with, he cycles through them in the same order. The phase he's about to begin involves him spitting out little robot minions that circle the stage. As long as you're not perfectly in front of him and stay to the very inside of the ring, they don't usually hit you, though it's a good idea to avoid corners. After his chest closes and he stops spitting out robot minions, he spits out an explosive cannonball. After that, he lowers down his arms and begins to rotate. You can use a tongue stand to avoid this attack, though keep in mind it usually kills a lot of the robot minions that are left alive. When he begins spitting out robot minions, the best place to stand is just off center. That way you can grab them as soon as they emerge regardless of which direction they travel in, and spit them right back at him without fear of being damaged. As his health bar changes color, everything begins to move a little faster, and the amount of cannonballs he spits out increases. If you aim your tongue directly at him, it'll bounce off his chest piece and retract. Instead, I recommend aiming your tongue forward and then immediately turning it to the side. That way it catches the oncoming cannonball, but doesn't hit his body and retract, causing the cannonball to hit you. Now I've got to be careful here because I only have 2 hit points left. Luckily, as things go faster, so does our potential for damage. Though this boss fight could very easily go sideways still. Alright, here comes the cannonball phase, and because his health bar is red, he's gonna spit out 3. So there's 2. And the 3rd? He only has a very tiny amount of health left, and so do we now. Alright, let's be very careful. That felt close. Let's play it safe, stick to the inside. Oh, they're so fast. But that's it. We defeated the relentless red rotating robot. You are obsolete. And just like that, we've completed Toyland. Though unfortunately, because of the minigame situation, we only got 19 coins. Don't worry though, we'll definitely be coming back later to play that minigame, get that coin, and unlock this stage's costume. But that's an adventure for another day. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to like or subscribe, and I'll catch you all next time with Pyramid Land.